Okay, I wanted to introduce our next unit, which is on equations. Okay, linear equations, that's basically a fancy word for equations that look like a straight line when you graph them. But I think you are familiar with balances and the concept of equations and things being balanced on both sides. This is just a fun little way to introduce equations with some animals. So let's look at the first example. In number 1, it says let S equal the weight of one squirrel. So you can see we have 3 squirrels on this side and we have 3 kilograms on this side, and they're completely balanced. So for part A, it says write an equation involving S to describe the situation. Mathematicians like to abbreviate things and write things in short ways with equations. So they would represent this situation with 3 squirrels, or 3S, has to equal 3 kilograms. So 3S equals 3. Part B says solve the equation to find the weight of one animal. If you look at this, I think most of you can figure out if 3 squirrels balances with 3 kilograms, each squirrel has to be 1 kilogram. If we look at the equation, what we can do is basically we're taking the 3 squirrels and dividing by 3, but whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So 3 divided by 3 would give us 1 squirrel, and 3 kilograms divided by 3 would give us 1 kilogram. So that's the mathematical way to do something that I'm sure you could figure out, that the weight of each squirrel is 1 kilogram. Let's look at number 2. Let F equal the weight of one frog. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frogs on this side, and it's balanced with 1 kilogram. So think about the equation that we could write here. Part A says write an equation involving F to describe the situation. So 1 kilogram this time is equal to 5 frogs. You may be able to figure out if 5 frogs is equal to 1 kilogram, I think each frog would have to weigh 1/5 of a kilogram. But let's look at the mathematical way to think about that. If we want to solve for 1 frog, we would have to take the 1 and the 5, and we're going to have to divide by 5. 5 frogs divided by 5 is 1 frog, or just F. Remember, we talked about 1F being the same as F. 1 divided by 5 is 1/5. So each frog is equal to 1/5 of a kilogram. Or remember, that's the same as 0.2 kilograms. All right, let's look at the last example. We have some otters here. Let T equal the weight of one otter. So it looks like we have 2 otters on this side balanced with 7 kilograms. So I'm sure most of you can figure out that each otter is going to weigh 3.5 kilograms, or half of 7. But let's write it the mathematical way so we get used to doing this. Write an equation involving T to describe the situation. We have 2 otters. I guess they didn't use O for otter because that looks too much like a 0, so they're going to use T for otters. 2 otters is equal to 7 kilograms. Solving the equation, well, we want to find out what 1 otter is equal to, so we're going to divide the 2 otters by 2 and get 1T, or just T. But remember, with a balance, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side of the equation. So if I take 7 kilograms and divide by 2, I get 3.5 kilograms. And that's it.